Your desires are being challenged by your beliefs, but your beliefs will morph and modify to satisfy the expansion of that which you are about. It is the eternal nature of all that we all are. So if I don't have enough money and I'm saying I want more money, saying I want more money activates the stick about money. And since I don't have enough money, end of the stick is the most active end of the stick, then I sort of don't make any progress most times when I bring it up. So something is required to make it easier to activate the what I want end of the stick without activating the what I've got end of the stick, or what I really don't want end of the stick. Because the stick is really two subjects, and you've practiced one end of it more than the other end of it, no matter what the subject is. So imagine that you have a pile of sticks, and one of them is about money, and one of them is about sexuality, and one of them is about lovers, one of them is about religion, every subject in the world. One of them is about how you want your house to look and what color of paint you even like. In other words, it's a big old pile of sticks. And there's the what I want end of the stick and the what I don't want end of the stick. And those ends of the stick are vibrational in nature. And the wanted end of the stick is a very different frequency than the what I don't want end of the stick. So you could, if you could catch it early before you're already on this end of the stick, you could take a subject that you feel mostly really good about, and you could focus on it, even daydream around it a little bit, and you could accomplish an activation of a vibration that puts you solidly on this end of the stick, which means, and this is what we want you to hear, now you have access to every stick in the pile from that end. It's so much easier to find any stick in the pile that feels good to you, path of least resistance good, and then to get to the solution of every problem in the world, or to the answer to every question in the world. So much easier to do it that way than to be on the other end of the stick and try to convince yourself that what you really want is the other end of that stick. Are you following? We want you to approach your stick pile vibrationally rather than physically. We want you to be a vibrational seeker rather than a subject by subject seeker. In other words, we want you to care about your vibration. You see, if we can convince you that you care about your vibration, and we can get you to do some things that allow you to allow your vibration to rise, now you have access to everything that's in the vortex. And now the magical seeming unfolding of this phase of your life, meaning this minute and the next minute and the next minute, maybe a few hours of it, are going to unfold in a way that they often don't unfold. Haven't you noticed the better it gets, and the worse it gets, the worse it gets? Because law of attraction is always in action. Law of attraction is always responding to you. There's so much power in the accomplishment of this. We're just wanting you to care about reaching for it. And the next thing that we want to say is that when you are creating your own reality, let's say it's a business enterprise that you're in the process of creating, or a relationship, or it's a project that is more confined, like the building of a building or anything. Almost 100% of it is created before you buy the land, before you buy the first wood or the first nail, before you meet the first person or hire the first employee. In other words, most of your creation is accomplished vibrationally before you even begin. And what happens with most people, we love you so much, is that you create it through this dream state, through life that has helped you to put it into this vortex. But when you get into that vibrational frequency, what's in there will occur. It will be revealed to you in the daydream that you are dreaming. Does that make sense to you? If you're in the vicinity of it, you'll start finding thoughts about it and feeling thoughts about it. And when you face reality, you begin a deconstructing of it. Now, those are not accurate words, because you can't deconstruct what's in your vortex. You can never let yourself live any of it. You can wait until you croak to even recognize the hugeness of it and the validity of it. But this will never be deconstructed, and your inner being and all of your inner being's buddies, all of us, are hanging out there witnessing the cooperative components being gathered. In other words, it's a big deal what's happening on your behalf. You have to find some way of being in the vibrational vicinity so that it can begin occurring to you, not just because that's how the manifestations happen, not just because that's how these thoughts turn to things, but because that's how you live happily ever after. That's the only way that you live happily ever after. You can't have allowed your life to build this vibrational reality, and you have allowed your life to build this vibrational reality, and be in any moment in time depriving yourself of it because you're focused in opposition to it. You can't be doing that and feel good at the same time. That always sucks. That always feels bad. It always feels like defeat or disappointment. It always feels like tension. But when you turn just the slightest in the direction of what you want, that's all it takes for positive emotion to replace negative emotion. Just be turned and facing in the direction of this, because the momentum of your attention in that direction will become greater and greater and greater until you will feel the power and the rhythm of it, and you will be in that place of receptive mode, that place of reception where you will understand that, where you will understand it, because words don't teach. It's life experience that teaches. So as we speak to you these laws of the universe, and you feel the resonance of them, if you can accept that you are vibrational and that you have a vibrational reality and that it is calling you, and the better you feel, the more you are tuned and turned that way, and the worse you feel, the more you've got some belief that is still stuck in your vibrational craw, that you've got activated, that is preventing you from allowing yourself to be called in the direction of what you really want. Once you consciously acknowledge this, and then you start living life and watching, what you begin to notice is there's an absolute, every single time, correlation between your mood and attitude and what is unfolding. It's either magical or not magical. And there's some stuff in between, but not really very much. You have strong emotions these days. You have tuned enough to who you are that when you're out of tune with who you are, you really feel it.